lab number 239. In this lab, we will continue development of our Canteen Point of Sales application, and right now it's time to focus a bit on design and a bit change the application UI. So first of all, we will open our text editor that we use as the development environment, and we'll start with modifying index.html. So I will close other files, I don't need it for now. So first of all, the first thing that we will do, we will actually change the background color. It will be just simple dark background, default ionic style for dark colors. So the next thing we will do is we will add a bit of padding on our columns on both of them. By default, the padding class will add 10 pixels from each side. Let's add additional div as a holder for our menu. So let's call it class something like menu call. Here we'll also have padding that will add 10 pixels and stable background, which will be actually defined in a dark background our menu bar. I will close this div, of course. And we will also need to separate dishes like main dish, some beverages, and so on. We have different categories for that. So we will do it by repeating this div several times with different filters. So first of all, we will need to have a label for that. So let's have another div, something like, let's name the class menu title, for example. And here we will have, well, let's say main meal. Then we will repeat the same for side dishes. So I will copy both our repeatable list and title and pass it 2 times. So main meal, then the side dishes, and finally beverages. Yeah, of course with A. Filter will be pretty simple, so we will do the following. We will do the filter, and then inside our breakfast, lunch, or a dinner menu that we are having, each item has a category. So we will actually filter it by category, and in our case, in particular case, it will be beverage, the first one, and then we'll have the same filter but with different category for our side dishes. So the category there is side, and we'll have almost the same one for main meal, and the category here is main. So all buttons here will be button dark. I will copy it everywhere, just like this. And let's also give a class to this div that holds our button, something like button holder. It will be reasonable. And I will copy it everywhere. Just like that. Each button should also have a picture of our item, of our specific food. So we will do it using the image, and GSRC will be as the source. And of course, we'll provide here a piece image. Just like that. And let's add a div to this text, something like button title. I will replicate this everywhere. Now let's fix the second call. Let's have it all inside div. Let's call a class something like price call. So we'll close the div here, so it will be equal to this one, and inside we'll have this list and total amount and buttons. Let's also add a padding here and stable background. This total amount together with the button bar should be actually stick to the button. We will add some styling for this with the separate actually components that we will install, but it will be a bit later. For now, let's just create a div and name a class something like bottom stick, for example. And of course close it. We will have here also padding. This total amount will have a class something like total cost, and it should be visible only if there are any items in the list, so we will implement it using ng-show equal to order length. So if there will be nothing, it shouldn't be shown. Almost the same story with the buttons. They shouldn't be accessible if actually we have nothing in the order. So we'll implement this logic using ng disabled. And it will be not equal to order length. So when actually there will be something in the order, those buttons will be accessible, otherwise they will be disabled. Like that. And basically the only thing we need to add here is some kind of information if there is nothing on the list. So let's add another div here. Something like empty list. Here we'll have a simple text like nothing ordered yet, and it will be hidden if actually there is something on the list. So we will do it using ng hide and order length. Just like this. So let's preview our changes. For that, I will open actually a term package in the bottom panel. Navigate back to canteenPOS WL project and start the server using mfp start. If you have already server started, you don't need to do this. We'll use for this preview the local server instead of Bluemix one, because it will be faster for us to push into local server and preview changes. So that's it. Let's go back to our Canteen Cordova project and do mfp preview local. which will mean that we will launch preview on local server. We'll select simple browser rendering and select canteenPOS WL. So as you can see, we added some styles. So we see now here our list, and it's added. Dark background is also working, and buttons are disabled in case there is nothing on the list. And when we add in something, the line that says about nothing ordered yet is also hiding itself. So now it's time to add a bit of CSS. We won't spend a lot of time by adding that manually. You just need to copy the files from actually lab239 files directory, either on Dropbox. You can find the link in the description for this lab. Either actually you can copy it from your hard drive if you downloaded the folder previously. So we are interested right now in style CSS. We can copy it and pass it inside our project folder. So dev workspace is canteen, canteenPOS, and of course www.css, and just pass here, replacing the existing one. And now we can go and try to preview again. So here we have some styles. So basically now we can see that they are working. And there are a couple of things that we additionally need to do. So first of all, we need to do something with this. So the way how we will do it is we will stick those buttons for clear and checkout to the bottom of our screen. There will be only one difficulty, how to know which is the bottom of our screen, because the height 100% won't work if we won't calculate it initially. So for that we will use one of the plugins existing for Angular. We will just install it through Boyer. And the next thing, we will need to add some kind of header, actually with the logout button with information about the current menu, like breakfast menu or lunch menu and so on, and maybe the time, because most probably this screen will be used as a main screen for point of sales person, administrator I mean, who's doing those payments and adding orders, so seeing the time for him will be quite important. So let's start with installing this AutoHates component. So basically we need to do the following. We need to go back to our canteenPOS and type first that we are going to www folder, and then that we are installing the new component using Boyer install, and not really pleasant name. It looks like this TWYGMB H / Angular AutoHate, like this. You can select now. Okay, it's installed, so it's located here under Boyer components. It will be better if we will actually copy it from Boyer components from this Angular AutoHates to www lib folder, just here. So now we should be able to see under lib. Yes, it will be located under dist and this file. I can copy the full path of this file and put it inside script. So just here we will have another reference, script src. So the reference will be with app.js, and here I will just load this file. The path should be not the full, of course. We will need just relative path. So just like that. Next thing we need to do is to add this directive that we just installed here to row. So as you can see, it's already visible, auto heights. And then we need to add the styles for both calls. There will be full height styles. Just like that. And for a second call, the same. And final step is our app.js. Here we need to add a reference to it. So TWY and then GmbH dot auto heights. Like this. And now let's push the changes and preview it. I will open the Chrome, it will be easier, it won't close when I will finish the preview. And now do MFP preview. So here we go, our menu, and as you can see, we are missing a part. It's done on purpose because actually on the top, as I was saying, we will have several things. So from the left side, we will have the name of the menu. From the right side, we will have the logout button and information about ourselves. So something like username and some kind of picture. So let's add that. We can go back to our index.html, and here before actually the menu call that we have, we will need to add one more. This one will be called actually dining call. Just like this. There will be also padding and stable background. So inside we will have two things. First will be a picture. So for that we'll have a separate class. It will be called menu picture. We will use the same styles like button outline that we used for our buttons with the foot, and button dark. It won't be actually a button, but it just will be used the same styles. Like this, and inside the pictures. So here it will be image ng-src equal to our image folder, and inside the image folder we will have our current menu. Let's go with lowercase, it will be better. Current menu JPEG file. So it will be either breakfast, either lunch, either dinner, and those files should be taken again from files lab 239. So either on Dropbox, either go to actually your host machine and copy those files. There will be 4 of them. One more will be for a picture for our user, and pass it inside image folder in canteenPOS www folder right here, just like that. So let me close this image tag, and we'll have also one more div inside this dining call, and that one will be menu category. So something like, again, the same current menu that we just used, and then just the menu word. No, we don't need this. Just like this. Auto-completion sometimes understand it wrong. And we also need the same kind of column for a second call for a second column in our row right here. So before we have this price call, we will have something like, let's call it settings. Again, padding and stable background. So here we can copy actually what we did here in dining call, because we will have almost the same, just named a bit differently. So instead of menu picture, it will be user picture. And we will take it from image folder. Here we will have this Richard JPEG, so let's just hard code it. Richard JPEG, and instead of menu category, we will have user info with padding. So something like last name and first name. So let's call this guy Richard Brown. And let's also add a button here. So this will be div class, sorry, typo, div class, something like log out holder. And here we will have just a simple button with the class button. There will be just an icon, so button icon, icon, ion, logout, and let's make it assertive, so this will be a red button. Just like this. So when we will click on this button right now, nothing will be happening because we don't have any login and we don't have any authorization. This will overcomplicate our point of sales terminal labs for now. So we will just use the simple alert, and inside the alert we will say something like no functionality yet, just like this. So let's save this document and try it with mfp preview local. Yep, so as you can see now it looks much better. We're only missing the picture and the name of the menu, but Richard Brown is there. Logout button is actually here but not working. So we'll implement it a bit differently, and everything else working as expected. So stick to the bottom menu and everything looks nice. So let's fix this menu and let's fix this button. Let's start with the button. So instead of this alert like this, let's have the log out functionality and implement this function in our controller. So almost the same as checkout order. I will even copy this code and pass it once again. But instead it will be logout. And instead of this code, there will be just no functionality yet, like this. Next thing is that we need to specify the current menu. So let's make a bit of logic here. So I will do the following. I will first of all get the date, the current date, using scope date new date. So actually date will be used to determine the current hours, and based on hours we will provide the menu. So if there will be less than 12 hours, there will be a breakfast menu, then from 12 to 16, for example, then there will be lunch menu, and then in the evening there will be an evening menu. So next thing we will do is to say that actually the current menu is none. And now we need to calculate it. So let's enter one more variable, something like current hour, that will be equal to current date and get hours. To actually get the current hour, it will just show 2 digits. And then we can do a simple if-else, something like if scope current hours less than 12, then one logic, else, let's copy the same, then another logic, and finally evening, and let's also add some check if there will be something wrong with the current hour. Let's have a login, something like console log error with current hour. So now the logic itself. Less than 16 let it be, and also more than 11. And here we will have almost the same thing. So less than 23 and more than 15. It should be okay. So here we will have this current menu equal to breakfast. And in two other options, in first it will be lunch, and second it will be dinner. And let's actually create one more variable, something like request type, and this will be needed to actually specify the particular menu that we are requesting instead of requesting everything. So something like request type will be breakfast with the lowercase, and then we'll have the same for lunch and the same for dinner, but of course we need to change breakfast to dinner and lunch. And let's also make some logic here. So actually when we got the response result, we will do just a similar thing. We will implement a simple logic. So if our scope request type will be type with uppercase will be equal to breakfast, then basically we will assign the scope food to result breakfast. Otherwise, I will copy this once again and pass here, and one more time, just like that. No, one more time, sorry. So else if our request type will be lunch, then instead of result breakfast it will be result lunch. And if request type will be dinner, then there will be result dinner, just like that. So now we can save that and preview. So here we have the breakfast menu. It actually worked. To check it out, I will just show the date. Yep, so 11:32, it means it's still breakfast, so everything is correct. Working as expected. Let's try logout button. Yep, no functionality yet, also working. So on this step, that's all with this lab. We finished lab number 239 and we continue development of our Canteen Point of Sales application in next labs. Thank you.